we're not worried as the players. If I'm going to be like frank and honest and transparent, we're not worried. All the power is in our hands. We have never had a moment like this where there's been so much momentum, where there's been so much investment, demand of our sports. I'm just kind of like upset, frustrated, all of us. And in a lot of ways, just like disgusted with the W and how they're handling this and their lack of value, their lack of worth for us, their lack of even trying to attempt to move the needle with us. The percentages, if we actually told you the percentages of what they're giving, that they're like sending to us, it would absolutely piss y'all off. Mm-hmm. So like, just know when we are standing firm in our feet and 10 toes down, there is a reason, and we will not move until y'all move. Without us, there is no W season.
Don't you just love the false bravado? I have not seen false bravado like this since Angel Reese and the Chicago Bravado played their final home game inside of that empty gym in the outskirts of Chicago. Don't you just love the brazen tough talk here from Natasha Cloud? The audacity of this unknown pretend basketball player. Natasha Cloud goes unrecognized at the Cloud family reunion. Auntie Cumulus gets recognized. Grumpy Uncle Thundercloud, he is well known. But the Natasha Cloud, she is not allowed entrance into the sky with the real stars without proper identification. WNBA players are really good at talking tough. WNBA players are really good at manipulating the feminine beard chasers in the mainstream media, but Uncle KC sees through their false bravado. Uncle KC can see the fear in their eyes. He can sense the anguish behind the unbelievable levels of bass in their voice. WNBA players know that time is running out, and they're coming to the harsh realization that the league, along with their primary subsidizers in the NBA, they're coming to the harsh realization that the NBA is kind of like the federal government. They have got plenty of time, plenty of patience, and nothing to lose if this dump of a league is temporarily shut down. Like I've told you guys many times before, WNBA players are missing the one thing that you need when negotiating increases in salary: leverage. With any negotiation, whether it's business, divorce, child support, in most cases, the winner is the one who has the most leverage. When I was in college, and once I graduated from college, I worked at a company called Fastenal. It's a major corporation, Fortune 500 company. If you're interested in stocks, Fastenal is one of the best long-term investments on the market. It's a great company, unless you actually work there. Now, the job is great, people are great. I had some great times traveling on work trips with Fastenal. The problem was, the pay was the drizzling shits. Fastenal was kind of similar to the WNBA. They paid their employees the bare minimum. Now, of course, unlike WNBA players, Fastenal employees actually produced results. Going into my 5th or 6th year with the company, I was 24, 25 years old. I asked my district manager for a raise. I was coming off my best year as an outside salesman. I was one of the top earners in the region, and I thought I was entitled to a raise. Conversation lasted about 5 minutes. He said, "If you want a raise, sell more of our overpriced nuts." Naturally, I was pissed off. I'm ashamed to say this, but at 24, 25 years old, I had the same entitlement that is prevalent throughout the WNBA. I thought the company owed me. I thought I deserved to make more money. But here's one thing I know now that I didn't know then. Like Natasha Cloud, who mistakenly believes that the WNBA ceases to exist without the current group of unknown players who can't draw flies to a fresh turd. Like Natasha Cloud, I thought I was irreplaceable. In my youthful arrogance, I thought There was no way they could find someone that could match my unbelievable brilliance and dashing good looks. Yeah, I was wrong. You see, Fastenal knew that there was a fresh batch of naive members of Club Dunce graduating every year from college. And it was very easy to find one dunce who was willing to take my job. They had all the leverage, I had none. And that is exactly what WNBA players are beginning to figure out. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the second channel is in the description below. Today on the second channel, going to be talking about the massive brawl that happened last night in the NBA. I know Adam Silver is going to crack down. I know the punishments will be somewhat severe, but believe it or not, the fight that happened last night, I believe it was in Charlotte, that fight is great for the NBA. I'll explain why. So if you haven't already, click the link in the description below, subscribe to the second channel. Headline at SB Nation: time is running out to get a WNBA deal done. Yeah, no shit. The season is supposed to start here in about 90 days, with 2 new dumps opening for operation. They've got to organize an expansion draft, still need to schedule the regular draft, training camp, preseason. There's a lot that needs to get done and not a lot of time to do it. Yesterday, WNBA players and their pretend friends in the mainstream media, they were celebrating the so-called concessions that the league had made. We have stood by our convictions and demanded subsidized apartments. Our primary subsidizers have agreed to put us in penthouses. We're moving on up to the east side, to a deluxe apartment in the sky. Woohoo! Yes, yes, yes. The WNBA agreed to put rookies in a one-bedroom dump. And they agreed to put developmental players, or as WNBA players prefer to call themselves in developmental, superstars. They have agreed to put developmental players in a studio apartment that's about the size of a tuna can. It's a good thing the average WNBA player is 5'5". These apartments are so small, if I laid down across the floor, my feet would be in the neighbor's kitchen. While it is true that the WNBA made some minor concessions to these unreasonable demands, the league is refusing to bend where it matters most. They are refusing to bend to the most unreasonable demand, which is overpaying the collection of make-believe stars. Outside of Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, maybe Sophie Cunningham, outside of those 3 players, there is not a player in this league that is worth $1 million a year. Well, KC, what about A'ja Wilson? She's a huge star. AJ? The woman who is better known as Bam Adebayo's fiance? The future star of Basketball Wives? The same AJ Wilson who couldn't sell out the WNBA finals when tickets were less than the cost of the wiener at the concession stand? You expect me to believe that AJ Wilson is worth $2 million a year? If the WNBA were still paying in Ethiopian breadcrumbs, then maybe AJ Wilson could demand 1 million breadcrumbs. But dollars? That dog won't hunt. Recently, WNBA players have admitted that they're using Unrivaled as leverage in negotiations. Who cares if the season is canceled? We are swindling TNT out of hundreds of thousands of dollars. We're still eating. The problem with using Unrivaled as leverage, it only works if Unrivaled is thriving. Hell, they don't even need to be thriving. If Unrivaled was drawing a few fleas instead of fully grown flies, the WNBA might believe that this turd is a real threat. But there's not even enough steam on this turd to attract a single flea. Through January, and this is based on the ratings that have been made available. Once again, ratings for women's basketball leagues seem to mysteriously disappear. It's the strangest thing. You can find NHL ratings, you can find ratings for the Tiger Golf League, but when it comes to women's basketball, ratings just mysteriously vanish. I wonder why. Through January, the secondary dump known as Unrivaled is averaging 103,000 viewers, down 44% compared to last year. This league literally went from averaging almost nothing to averaging nothing. You could air reruns of Murder, She Wrote and draw more than 100,000 viewers. Obviously, we know why Unrivaled is struggling. We know why Unrivaled is a huge, embarrassing failure. They don't have Caitlin Clark. And I believe the reason they don't have Caitlin Clark is because she was encouraged by the WNBA not to play in Unrivaled. Now, that is pure speculation on my part, but just think about it. Adam Silver controls everything in the NBA, which owns a majority stake in the WNBA. He is receiving pressure from NBA owners to make the WNBA profitable. They're finally on the brink of profitability. They are finally on the verge of achieving the unachievable. Adam Silver is on the verge of accomplishing something that David Stern could never accomplish. His legacy would be cemented if he could find a way to monetize pretend basketball. Right when it's about to happen, the disease of entitlement is magnified. Unknown WNBA players are deluded into thinking that they are the reason for this sudden surge in popularity. It's not the white girl. People are paying to see us break records by scoring 60 points in 60 quarters. Right before the CBA is set to expire, all of a sudden, a new league emerges, promising to pay players significantly more than they're worth. What a coincidence! But in order for the secondary dump to succeed, they need the services of the WNBA's only star. You really think Adam Silver is letting that happen? You really think Adam Silver is loaning his only star to a rival league? But Casey, Adam Silver can't control Caitlin Clark. She is contractually allowed to subsidize her income in other leagues. Yeah, but Adam Silver can control who gets promoted and who doesn't. If you don't believe me, go ask Ja Morant. Ask Ja Morant how quickly you can become irrelevant once the machine is no longer behind you. All those nationally televised games featuring Caitlin Clark, gone. The Indiana Felines, they would be buried on local TV in Boodle Flute, Indiana. Plus, why would Caitlin Clark want to diminish the league that has the ability to pay her the most money? Why would Caitlin Clark want to damage the league with the biggest platform? Unlike her colleagues in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark refuses to be her own worst enemy. If a deal gets done, I think WNBA players will be the ones conceding. Careers are short. Unrivaled just doesn't have the resources to pay everyone in the WNBA. The time is ticking for WNBA players, because Adam Silver and the suits that fund this league, they've got all the time in the world to wait this out. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.